We're going to be doing Rashi on the Gimel Amud Aleph. We've already learned it more than 6 times by now. So since we've learned it more than 6 times by now, so therefore we're allowed to do Rashi. So if you remember, we're going back in the Gemara where we were going in the Shita of Rabbi Akiva. And we said that according to Shitat Rabbi Akiva, when it said Unsacheha, we were talking about 2 different Nisuchim, right? One is Nisucha Maim, Nisucha Yain. So the Gemara asks, maybe both of them, because it says Unsacheha in plural, so maybe both of them are talking about Chamra, which is wine. So answers the Gemara, so ask the Gemara, that means Rabbi Akiva still holds like Rabbi Yehuda Memetera, that the hinting of water was hinted on the 2nd day. So ask the Gemara, if he holds like Rabbi Yehuda Memetera, so why doesn't he say like him? So look in Rashi. She has kirba shani. That you should mention it on what's shani? On the 2nd day, just like Rabbi Yehuda Memetera. So answers the Gemara, Nisuch yetera b'shishi ketiv. Says no, I apologize. Rabbi Akiva still holds that at the end of the day, right, the nisuch, the extra nisuch was done on the 6th day. Klomar means to say unsacheha. Yeah, unsacheha. What does it mean unsacheha? Unsacheha demar betrei nisuchim. The word unsacheha is including 2 nisuchins. Ketiv b'shishi, it's written on shishi. What's that? The 6th day. Yeah, on the 6th day. Rashi. Lehachi amar b'shishi matchil. And therefore you're going to start on the 6th day. Laskir, to mention it. Ve'ahani mem yod mem mayim. So now on this mem yud mem, which is mayim, te'lo matzinu lemeimar tarvaihu tiyayin. Because now that means the mem yud mem of mayim is still helping to tell you that it's one is water and one is wine. But we still do it on the 6th day. Why do we do it on the 6th day? Because it was marbeh trei nisuchin on the 6th day. This is the shita of Rabbi Akiva. Okay, until here we're clear. Very good. Next, shita of Rabbi Natan. Rabbi Natan comes and he says, how do we know that we're talking about 2 different nisuchim? Because if you remember, we said Bakodesh asech neser shechal Adonai. He said Bakodesh asech neser. Said the Gemara. Why? Well, obviously we're talking about 2 different nisuchim. Because the pasuk could have said Bakodesh hasech hesech or nasech nesech. Why did it change the terminology hasech nesech? So comes to teach you, it's talking about 2 different nisuchim. Says the Rashi, mideshani kra bedibure, from the fact that the Torah, kra is the pasuk, right? The Torah. From the fact that the Torah changed its language, shemamina tarte shin mem shemamina. We learn from here 2 different halachot. Number 1, they're talking about 2 different nisuchim, and one is on the maim and one is on yain. So says the Gemara, right? Now we're going further down, where the Gemara actually comes and mentions, right, where we wanted to find out who is the Baraita. The Baraita comes and the Baraita says, right, Elahad itna nisuch hamayim kol shiva mani. Who is this man, the Amar of the Mishnah that says nisuch hamayim is 7 days? So he said, if it's going to be Rabbi Yoshua, so it's 1 day. If it's Rabbi Akiva, it's 2 days. If it's Rabbi Yehuda Memetera, it's 6 days. It's not 7. So who holds of 7? Says the Rashi, Rabbi Akiva trei yom me'ave. If it's going to be Rabbi Akiva, it's going to be 2 days. Vetulo, and not more than 2 days. Teha'amar, because he already said. Yeah, because he already said. Okay, here the Bach is adding in the mem yod mem, the marbe nisuch hamayim and b'shishi. He's already saying unsachea dainu b'shishi mitrabe nisuch hamayim. So whichever one, if whether you want to actually add in the words of the Bach or not, it's the same thing that he's basically saying unsacheha. So therefore, it's only going to be on the 6th day, right, and the 7th day. But it's not going to be more than that. So answer the Gemara, really who's going to be this Braita? It's going to be Leolam Rabbi Yehuda Memetera, and he holds like Rabbi Yehuda of the Mishnah. You remember? It's Rabbi Yehuda Memetera and he holds like Rabbi Yehuda of the Mishnah. What was Rabbi Yehuda of the Mishnah? First of all, the Tanakama there argues on Rabbi Yehuda and he says, what type of a utensil do you do nisuch hamayim? With how many logs? 3. Rabbi Yehuda Memetera argues, Rabbi Yehuda, there argues, and he says, 1. Yeah? Second machloket, Shmini Atzeret or not. So therefore, that's what it says over here. Right? So he says with one log, he was doing Nisuch Hamayim all 8 days. That means there, Rabbi Yehuda says that you do it all 8 days. So that means he's not holding exactly like Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says 8 days, and he's holding 7 days. Right? But he's agreeing with Rabbi Yehuda from that which he said, right? And since he says that you should do the Nisuch on the 8th day, so it's going to come out, right? According to Rabbi Yehuda that he says that on the Shani, right? What is the Shani? On the 2nd day, you're going to start the Nisuch Hamayim all the 7 days. So that makes sense. Rabbi Yehuda says, when are you going to start? On the 2nd day. But you add the 8th day. So from 2 to 7 is going to be 7 days complete. So, sorry, 2 to 8. It's going to be 7 days complete. So because of that, so our Gemara is like Rabbi Yehuda Metira, right? The Mapik Rishonu Me'ayel Shemini. He took away the 1st day and he added in Shmini Atzeret. Mashiv Bala Gemara, right? So the Gemara is going to answer. Mimatzi Amar Rabbi Yehuda Shmini Atzeret. Are you going to tell me that on the 8th day you're going to do Nisuch Hamayim? Maishna, right? What's the difference? The Kamar that he said the Rishon Maskif. What's the reasoning according to Rabbi Yehuda Metira why on the 1st day you don't do it? Why is it that you're not going to do it?
Because he starts on the 2nd.
Because Mayim is only hinted on the 2nd day. Instead of saying Veniska, right? It said over there, right? Instead of saying over there Veniska, sorry, Kimishpatam, it added Kimishpatam, right? So he says, right? V'rishon maskid d'chirel mize mayim b'shini uder mize. V'niskehem mar b'nisuch hamayim shemini nami. Mimatzi amar demenasech hashvi'i amur rachmana. Right? Demem yod mem mayim kativ b'shvi'i d'siyum krae d'nisuch hamayim b'shvi'i kativ kemishpatam v'lo b'shmini, which means like this. It says, what's the svara? What's the logic to take out the 1st and to add the 8th? I understood why you took out the 1st. Why did you take out the 1st day? Because there was nothing of Mayim on the 1st day. Mayim started on the 2nd day. When was the Yod added? On the Yod.
On the 6th.
The 6th day. When was the Mem added? 7th day. So therefore the question is, why in the world am I going to take, if I'm already taking out the 1st day, I should also take out the 8th day. So then again, you're back to square one. So what does it make sense? It doesn't make sense to take out the 1st day and then you add the 8th. Why are you adding the 8th? It's for what? So that it doesn't make sense.
To go like Rabbi Yoshua, to go until Shmini Atzeret.
Which one? Exactly. There's no reason to do until Shmini Atzeret. So answer the Gemara. Ela Rabbi Yoshua. It's Rabbi Yoshua. Yeah? And then we answered it was Zalachal Moshe Sinai. Remember? So he said it was Rabbi Yoshua. What does that mean, Rabbi Yoshua? The Amar Mishata Nachato. Rabbi Yoshua was the one that he said Mishata Nachato. Tehainu b'shvi'i maskir, which is the 7th day he's mentioning it. Right? What was Rabbi Yoshua?
Last day.
The last day. What is the last day?
Shmini Atzeret.
Shmini Atzeret. Chazak Baruch. Rashi argues on David. We already learned this before. Rashi just told you it's the Shvi'i. Because I told you from the beginning it's Machloket Rashi v'Tosafot. What is the pshat when it says Mishata Nachato? If you go back and you see what is Mishata Nachato, right? If it says Mishata Nachato, is that the pshat, right? The Motzei Shevit, when you're putting it down, right? Or not? Or is it the 8th day? Is it the 7th day or the 8th day? Rashi just told you it's the 7th day. We learned Kipshuto that it's the 8th day. But here Rashi is saying the 7th day. And still Savari he holds the Nisuch Hamayim Kol Shiva. The Gemara Gemila Le'alachal Moshe Sinai. You learn it from Alachal Moshe Sinai. The Nisuch Hamayim Kol Shiva, right? Nisuch Hamayim is all 7 days. Vadaik Rabbi Eliezer Ati Shapi. Right? For sure, it could go like Rabbi Eliezer. You remember this was the question that we asked in the shiur. We asked, why don't we just say that this Braita was Rabbi Eliezer? Right? Rabbi Eliezer says it's all 7 days. So why couldn't we say Rabbi Eliezer? He says Vadaik Rabbi Eliezer Ati. Right? Ati Shapi. You had to put it like this, according to Shtat Rabbi Yehuda, Bemetera and Rabbi Akiva. So lo mukil like Rabbi Eliezer da lo mibaye because we didn't need it. We wanted a bigger chidush. Rabbi Eliezer sfira lehachi the v'dailer. Sure, it's good according to Rabbi Eliezer. The hade kamokim Rabbi Yoshua, but now that we're saying it's of Yoshua, it's a chidush, right? Ributa kamashmanan. It's coming to teach you a chidush. Kamashmanan is coming to teach us. However, Rabbi Yehuda Memetera or Rabbi Akiva lo metukman, but it can't be like Rabbi Yehuda Memetera like Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Yehuda yali finemar v'sheni v'nisken. So Alma Tzvar Nisuch Hamayim lo avu ela vav yamin. So according to Rabbi Yehuda Memetera, it can't be because he's only saying it's 6 days. But he's not taking the first day and putting in the 8th day. Because of that, we asked the question that we just said before. And it can't be like Rabbi Akiva, because Rabbi Akiva was learning from the Sacheha that it's on the 6th day. So therefore, Nisuch Hamayim is only going to be 2 days. Like Rabbi Yoshua, Rabbi Yoshua mitukma lefichach. Therefore, en maskirin ela biyom tov ha'acharon. We're only going to mention it on Yom Tov ha'acharon, the Geshamim bechag, siman klala. It's a klala during Chag. Aval Nisuch Hamayim, but Nisuch Hamayim havi kol shiva. It's all 7 days. The Gemara Gamila, because the Gemara is actually learning that. What exactly are the 3 cases of Hilchata Alacha Moshe Misinai? There were 3 cases. You remember 3 cases? Eser Netiyot, right? There was the Eser Netiyot, the 10 saplings. There was the Arava and Nisuch Hamayim. So Eser Netiyot, the 10 saplings, and Fuzarot, which are scattered. The Fuzar is scattered. Okay? Betoch Betzeah. So if you're going to have these 10 saplings which are scattered within a betzeah, so they're allowed to plow. Choresh is to plow. So the chorshin are allowed to plow the entire betzeah erev shemitah until Rosh Hashanah. Afal gav, even though the shar sadot and chorshin finish shvit, they don't plow the other fields before shvit 30 days before, right? If you're not going to plow, you're not going to plow around these trees. They're going to get ruined. So you're allowed to plow these trees. Okay? What? Hamayim says Rashi, Kol Shiva, all 7 days. Next, Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishum Rabbi Yoshua. Rabbi Yehuda says the name of Yoshua, Ovel Lifnei Teva B'yom Tov Ha'acharon Shel Chag, Ke'en Amar Mor Hu, which means it's like Amar Mor. Klomar, Amlina Le'el Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Meaning it's like we're saying Rabbi Yehuda is saying. So it's like this is what we're trying to understand. That it's like Amar Mor says, meaning this is what Rabbi Yehuda said. So then we asked in the Gemara, Hi Rabbi Yoshua, which Rabbi Yoshua is it? Yeah, Hi Rabbi Yoshua. Ilema Rabbi Yoshua de Matznitin. If you're going to tell me it's Rabbi Yoshua of our Mishnah, he says Yom Tov Ha'acharon u'maskil. Right? It's going to be on the Yom Tov Ha'acharon. What does that mean, Yom Tov Ha'acharon? The Rishon Nami, Hamitpalel Tfilat Yotzer Maskil, Iluach Itani Adishon Eno Maskil. We understood that the first one that's praying Shachrit, Yotzer Or is in Musaf or Shachrit? Shachrit. Right? Yotzer Or is in Shachrit. So the one that's praying Yotzer Or, he's also going to mention it. And here we're saying that only the Rishon is in Maskil. So Hamar Mishat Anachato, he said from the time of the Anacha. Tehainu B'Shvi'i on the 7th day. And here we're teaching on the 8th day. Again, Rashi is going Mishitato, right? That we're talking about on the 8th day instead of the 7th day. Remember, he's saying that according to the Shat Anachato, it's 7th day. That's always the Shita of Rashi, going through the entire Gemara. Okay? Next. Okay. The 2 had the Tanya. Then we said, not only is it a question on Rabbi Yoshua, it's a question on Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera. Yeah?